The rotating snake's illusion, a hypnotic mind trap. One of the most famous static motion illusions of our time is the rotating snakes, created by Japanese psychologist and illusion artist Akiyoshi Kitaoka. At first glance, the image is just a series of concentric circles made of repeating colored segments. But the longer you look, the more it feels like the circles are spinning, twisting endlessly as if powered by some invisible force. This illusion works because of the way our brain processes contrast, edges, and small movements of the eye, called microsaccades. Even though the picture is completely still, your eyes can't help but dance across the different colored segments. The brain misinterprets these tiny shifts as actual motion, giving the hypnotic feeling that the snakes are rotating. The rotating snakes illusion has been used not only in psychology labs but also in modern design and digital media. It shows just how powerful and irresistible motion illusions can be. Bridget Riley, the queen of op art. If one artist truly embodies the spirit of op art, it's Bridget Riley, the British painter who struck canvases defined an era. Her work in the 1960s captured the power of geometry and contrast to overwhelm perception. Take her iconic struck paintings, where simple black and white lines appear to vibrate, bend, or shimmer. These weren't accidents. Riley carefully studied how small differences in angle, spacing, and rhythm could produce startling sensations of motion. Her art became so influential that it shaped fashion, graphic design, and even advertising. Riley proved that optical illusions weren't just curiosities, they were a serious artistic language. Victor Vasarely, the grandfather of op art. No discussion of op art is complete without Victor Vasarely, often called the grandfather of op art. Born in Hungary and later working in France, Vasarely pioneered geometric abstraction long before it became mainstream. His canvases are filled with grids, cubes, and spheres that bulge and warp in impossible ways. Looking at his paintings, it feels as if space itself is shifting. Flat surfaces swell into three-dimensional illusions. In documentaries and retrospectives, Vasarely is often celebrated not just for his artistry, but for his scientific approach. He believed art and science were deeply connected, and that perception itself could be studied through visual experiments. His optical patterns became so iconic that they influenced architecture, fashion, and even corporate logos. Vasarely's work laid the foundation for artists like Bridget Riley and others who carried op art into new directions. Yakov Agam, transcending the visible. Another visionary of perceptual art is Yakov Agam, the Israeli artist famous for his agamagraphs. These works look different depending on where you stand. From one angle, you might see one image, move a few steps, and it transforms into something completely different. Agam believed that art should transcend the visible and engage the viewer in transformation. His pieces are not static objects but interactive illusions. At the Tel Aviv Museum, his works have drawn fascination from audiences of all ages. Agam's art demonstrates that perception is not fixed, it shifts and evolves as we move. The Enigma illusion, Isia Liviant's moving circles. French artist and scientist Isia Liviant introduced another baffling visual trap called the Enigma illusion. In this work, a field of colored circles and concentric blobs creates the strange impression of swirling motion radiating outward. Viewers often describe it as pulsing or breathing. Like the rotating snakes, the Enigma illusion plays on microsaccades and contrasts, exploiting the brain's tendency to interpret slight eye movements as flowing motion. The result is a picture that feels alive, even though it's perfectly still. This illusion has become a staple in studies of perception and is often cited as one of the most mysterious optical effects ever documented. The cafe wall illusion, straight lines that look crooked. Not all optical illusions are confined to abstract art. The cafe wall illusion is a classic example discovered by scientists studying everyday architecture in Cambridge. It's made of alternating black and white tiles arranged in rows, with thin gray lines separating them. The strange thing is, the rows of tiles look slanted, even though they're perfectly parallel. Peripheral drift illusion, movement at the edge of vision. Another fascinating category of static illusions is the peripheral drift illusion. This effect occurs when certain patterns seem to move only when you look slightly away from them. At the edges of your vision, the brain processes motion differently, making the designs appear to flow or shimmer. Artists and digital creators have turned these illusions into mesmerizing screensavers and video loops, proving that even in the digital era, the brain's quirks remain as captivating as ever. The Lilac Chaser illusion, disappearing colors. The Lilac Chaser illusion is one of the most shared and explained in psychology. Imagine a circle of lilac-colored dots with one spot missing. As the dots blink on and off, viewers start to see a green dot moving around the circle, even though no green is present. Eventually, the lilac dots themselves seem to fade away. Neon color spreading, seeing light that isn't there. In the neon color spreading illusion, intersecting lines and shapes give rise to glowing patches of color that seem to float above the image. The brain fills in regions that aren't actually colored, creating the effect of luminous neon lights. The Fraser spiral illusion, circles that pretend to spiral. At first glance, the Fraser spiral illusion looks like a series of spirals winding toward the center. But look closer, and you'll realize they are just circles perfectly aligned. The alternating patterns of tilted lines trick the brain into linking them as one continuous spiral. The Zöllner illusion, lines that should be parallel. The Zöllner illusion shows parallel lines that appear to tilt or diverge when short diagonal marks cross them. Even though the long lines are mathematically parallel, the added diagonals create a powerful tilt effect. The Kanizsa triangle, seeing shapes that don't exist. Finally, one of the most elegant illusions, the Kanizsa triangle. Here, three Pac-Man-like shapes and three wedges are arranged in such a way that viewers clearly see a white triangle floating above them. But that triangle doesn't exist. It's an illusion created by illusory contours. Our brain invents edges and surfaces to make sense of the image. Why we love moving images that don't move. From Bridget Riley's vibrating stripes to Vasarely's shifting grids, from the cafe wall to the rotating snakes, op art, and static motion illusions remind us that reality is never as simple as it looks. They challenge us to question what we see, to realize that perception is a fragile construction rather than a perfect recording of the world. If you enjoyed exploring the strange world of op art and optical illusions, make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the art, science, and psychology of perception. Share this video with someone who loves mind-bending visuals, and let us know in the comments which illusion tricked you the most.